In the world of music and electronics, convenience is key. We use computers and digital audio workstations to do our recordings. Now, of course, if you've got plugins and somebody else has got the same plugins, the sounds are going to be exactly the same. So, yeah, a bit of the magic may be lost there. However, there are a few little devices on the market that allow you to just mash things up a bit and try things out that are sort of unpredictable, and you never know what you're going to get. These two, the Korg Monotron and the Korg Monotron delay. I'm going to show you these, and I think their role in music is extremely important. Let's have a look. Someone asked me the other day for a sound that sort of descends. It's like a and it was actually on one of my YouTube videos, and I gave that YouTuber the preset that I'd found on GarageBand. But let's say you haven't got GarageBand, or you haven't got that version where you're going to get that sort of sound. Well, the Korg Monotron, which you can see on your screen, can do such a thing. Now I'm just going to demonstrate some sort of falling sort of noise. Now what we've got here are 5 controls on this synth. We've got the VCO, voltage controlled oscillator, LFO, which is a low frequency oscillator, and VCF, which is voltage controlled filter. Now these are all old school things that you will find on any synth. So let's just go through them. If I just take the low frequency oscillator, in fact the amount is here, this one here. So it's just a single note, which you can vary the pitch of using the VCO here. That's actually an F sharp, for example, on the synth. So you have to tune it if you want to get the notes of the piano there. It's only 1 octave. Now you might think, oh, this is really restrictive. What can you do with it? Well, there are many things, and I'm going to show you something rather cool in a minute. So we've got the low frequency oscillator, which at the moment is off, even though it's flashing. This is the amount of oscillation, and this is the speed. So if I just turn that up a bit, you can get those sort of things. Fine. Now, with all of this, we have the voltage controlled filter, which has got a cutoff and what's called a peak. That's the resonance control, which you might find on some synths. So the cutoff frequency, for example, and the resonance at which that cutoff actually sort of manifests itself in the signal. Now this device is completely analog. There's no digital presets, no remembering of anything. You just twiddle the controls and away you go. However, if you look on the top here, you can see that there's a headphone output, which is what you're listening to at the moment, and there's another jack lead here. What I've actually got is the guitar through a little processor. I'm just using the preamp on GarageBand to plug the guitar through this. Now for this, I need to switch to cutoff. Instead of pitch, I need cutoff in order that this is going to work. So, suddenly you've turned it into an effects processor just by having that auxiliary input. That is rather nice. Now, I'm going to show you its erstwhile brother, the Korg Monotron delay, because there are a few things that you can do here which are rather nice. Now, I'm just going to unplug this. Next up then, we've got the Korg Monotron delay. Now I'll just demonstrate this without the guitar for the moment, because there are some rather nice things you can do with this. I've used this on a few sort of dub and reggae records, because you can get really sort of distorted delays and all sorts. So if I switch it on, yeah. Now, of course, Really, the control that can run away with itself is the feedback control. Now, this basically means that you can keep this thing essentially making noises all day. It just feeds back whatever you've done with these other controls. So, no feedback at all. We have a cut-off frequency here. We don't have a resonance filter like we did on the other synth. We've got that. We've also got the oscillator itself. And the amount of oscillation like we did on the other one. We've got a choice between a triangle wave and a square wave. Let's leave it on triangle for the moment. I mean, this sort of smacks of Doctor Who, the BBC Radiophonic Workshop. But having something like this, if you think, oh, where can I get this sound? Ah, I've got this. And you can just plug it in and record the output to your workstation. Now, if I just do this once again with the time, this is basically the echo. We've got the delay here. We've got the amount, which is feedback, and then the delay time. And the feedback is over 100% when you have it on the right hand side, so it will actually oscillate and keep going and keep feeding it back into itself, so it distorts. And you just turn the feedback all the way down. With guitar connected, got to say these two controls don't work with the auxiliary input. It's just these three, the voltage control, filter and delay. But let's say you're engineering and you've got a friend who's playing guitar and you just basically tweak these sort of things. If you're electronically minded, you may even be able to put a jack socket on the side that can then connect to an expression pedal. There's not much room inside this, but it's the sort of thing that you could do. The possibilities, as you can see, are endless. You can put an entire mix through this. If I just take my, and I've got an album that I'm working on at the moment. It's a bit of reggae here. Possibilities are endless. They really are. Don't worry about the sound quality. They are a little bit noisy, but actually they're very powerful output, so you can just roll the top end off on your digital audio workstation if you find it's a little bit hissy. But these two synths, they're about £40 each. I actually ordered this one in error. This one, because I'd heard the Monotron delay that a mate had, and I went, oh, I've got to get one of those. Went online, bought it, and actually this one arrived. And rather than send it back or go, oh, I just bought the other one. Because actually you could run one into the other as well. Really, really create some noise. There we go.